Hello, superheroes, and welcome back to my channel. This is Love with Love. So today, as y'all know, the election is over with. I went to go vote on November 8th. Yes, yes, yes. Although it was sad to say, I did not see the person that I wanted to vote for because the Green Party didn't get enough votes. But it will be better in the time bringing. But as long as I can still bring awareness of why going green is so important, and just to take care of our environment. It's not even just about going green, it's just taking care of our environment, and to know these words so we can get a better understanding of where we're from and what we can do for this planet. So I'm going to be talking about the environment. Why the environment is so important. Why is the environment so important, y'all? If we do not take care of where we are, we will lose things, and then we will lose ourselves, and there will be no more humans in this world per se. That we have bees that basically take pollen and then they bring it to another plant. That plant end up producing something within a fruit, some fruit, so it gives nurture to the fruits that's by it. All this stuff produces the things that we need for us to keep going. And isn't beautiful how the animals and insects are such a big part of why we are keep going? So make sure that we are definitely understanding that we're in this together, not only humans but animals as well. And if we can start to show each other compassion and learning, I'm pretty sure we have something great going. There's this one guy on Instagram, he plays with the lions and everything. He's showing people like these lions are nothing to fear for, like nothing to fear, you know. If anything, it's just not knowing, you know. We don't know of these kinds because we don't see them, and we're not interacting with these animals and these things, so we kind of like distance ourselves because we kind of like afraid that they're going to hunt us. Well, half of the time they just want to know who we are just as much as we want to know who they are. So it's a win-win for the environment and for us to, if you see some trash, let's say see trash on the floor, pick it up. It's you see it on the floor, one person picking up the trash and another person picking up, and then another one, and you realize that if everybody picks up one thing, you got a clean environment because we helped each other out instead of one person doing it all, you know. I'm getting into also to solar paneling, going into solar because I've realized how much of a big impact it's not only for finance, like big, huge impact for finance. People, if you have kids and everything, you're trying to look for something to financially help you out in the future, going to solar is the best thing for you. And we'll get into that once I start talking about it and getting way more into it, because I do believe the sun and the planets are here to help us. But because there's so much pollution, it's kind of like they're pushing away, you know. So now we're trying to get better resources like solar to not only help ourselves but help our planet, you know, evolve. Because us taking control back in the day is obvious. We were trying to put things back together so we can let the planet, so the planet could let us know, like, hey, I got y'all. I've been having y'all. There's no need for control. Just let me flow. Don't temper at me, press at me. Just let me flow, and I'll take care of you. And I am completely believer on that, because I've seen what happens in my life when I take care of Earth and things that's been given back to me. It's a beautiful thing. It's a win-win situation. So definitely recycling, making sure that we're turning off the faucet. My mom gets on me with it. She's like, do you know what happens if we don't have any water? We won't be here. And I totally understand. So I'm all like, turn that faucet off, turn it off. So I've definitely been up on my game with doing things just to help the planet out. And it's the little things that help. It's not, you don't have to be all like, I'm going to gather everything, but one person at a time helping is everybody helping, and that's a beautiful thing. So that's about the environment. So now we're going to be talking about the eco-socialism. So eco-socialism, basically you respecting wherever you're at. So if you're a tourist and you go to Grand Canyon or whatever, or go to Mount Charleston or go to any forest, make sure you're taking care of where you're at. Don't throw your trash or anything like that. Make sure, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, when I was in Dallas and I went to White Rock Canyon, I would make sure that, like, I have my little picnic, but I'll throw everything in the trash. They have trash bags there and everything to let you know, like, take care of this environment. Earth has given you this peace to let you roam in it. Please make sure that you put your trash in garbage. And that's what basically eco-socialism is. It's just to take care of not only where you're at, but actually also take care of where you're traveling, know where you're at, and just throw things away in the garbage. It doesn't harm anybody. It doesn't harm yourself. It makes you feel good when you actually are making sure that the planet is good. For me, it does. So that's what socialism is. So we're going to get to grassroots democracy. To me, what grassroots is, it's an organization that shifts things like authority. So if we have like, what it sounds like to me is more like a subsidy. So if we have like things like COVID situation that happened, and what happens is within subsidy, the government and assistance is to you. Like Texas, I had Texas relief assistance, and I was supposed to get some other assistance, but now I actually sent somebody a merciful letter, because once you get these words and realize what is owed to you, you have more authority and more words to say, like, hey, this is owed to me, this shouldn't have been granted to me, but y'all denied me on an unfair reasons, and it wasn't even my fault. So now I'm just like, okay, now I have mercy in the situations. But that's what subsidy is, and that's what I feel like grassroots is, because grassroots is something that shifts over to design something else and to organize for politic reasons, is to basically, hold on y'all, I'm about to read, we're going to make sure I'm saying this right, tendency towards designing political process that shifts as much decision-making authority as practical to the organization. So for me, I'm like, okay, that sounds like subsidy. So if something was to happen, like, that's when your subsidy comes in and says, hey, we're going to find financial aid for you to basically get us back on track to where we were in the beginning. But the thing about the subsidy is people don't get that after what is given to you, you're going to have to go right back for the next year. And I'm pretty sure everybody saw that switch with apartments going up, homes going up, gas going up, food going up. That's when I realized, wow, nothing is really free. So how can we come up with a better solution with also being, when things like that do come in mind, being able to not shift so much of, I know in Dallas, I believe 34 of the homeless rate went up, and that's crazy, y'all. That's completely crazy. 34% of the homeless rate went up because the shift was so big that people were like, wait a minute, we didn't even get that much. Where is all this money coming from, kind of thing. So now we got to come up with something else so that we are living in royalty, in a balance. Royalty. I want to live in royalty. That's in the middle. I'm all about the middle. So that's what basically it means to me. So we got everything down from the Green Party, and I'm very excited just to be able to talk about these things and to really get things going to loving where we're at, because Earth is so important to me. And I understand sometimes it feels like you don't feel like you belong, because I felt like that when I was younger. I always felt like, I'm like, do I belong here, all this stuff, but I always told myself that I matter. So feeling confident in who I am always was beautiful, but the mindset that I have, it was always like I just didn't find individuals like me all the time. But when I did find them, I was like, oh wow, like this is great. Like, it's like something that you want to hold on to, but sometimes you got to let it go, and if it's meant to be, things will come right back to you. But when you find those beautiful gems like yourself, it's like, oh, thank you. But what I realized is, I was watching Amazing Race, and this was so cool. These two girls, I can't remember if they were twins, but they were sisters. They were from Asia, and they got separated from each other. Two families, one got the other girl, and the other one got the other girl. So they found out they had sisters somewhere else, and they found each other and got along so well. They were like, okay, let's do the Amazing Race. But the cool thing about it is, you realize love is everywhere and family is everywhere. You are never lost. You are always taken care of. Even if you feel like you don't belong somewhere, you always belong, because Earth is always willing to nurture and love you, but give you something else that you needed. And it was so cool to see like these sisters coming from different worlds and coming together and realize that there's more love out there. So our family is within everywhere and everything and everywhere we are. So when you feel like you're distant, just come back down to earth and realize that family is all around you. And maybe that's why, like I feel like now that I'm older, I'm probably just have 1 or 2 kids, because my kids, once the community is built around us, that becomes my family, you know. I guess I have my mother and all that good stuff, but you realize that maybe it was just a little bit too much of your side of the family, because in my dad's side of the family, it's 300 of us on a reunion. That was just at the reunion, y'all. That's a lot of people, to be honest. But it's like people grow these big families but don't realize that your family is outside. Your family is everywhere, all around you. And we need to really start to take care of ourselves and start to take care of the planet, because at the end of the day, we all belong. We're all here for a reason, so don't ever feel like you're secluded out. Sometimes you want to go and jump onto Jupiter or Moon, and I get it. But come down to Earth, because Earth loves you and is ready to nurture you as long as you nurture Earth. So I'm a very big believer in it. I will be back here talking about some more things, maybe finance, because I'm noticing a lot of parents out there, they're having a little difficulties with taking care of their finance problem, because some people just buy so much, they feel like you gotta buy all this and all this stuff. But there is a way of tracking things. I've read this book, The Money Diet. It was at the theological library. I'll be everywhere. I'll be like, y'all everywhere. But this guy was saying how, like, I give my kids, I believe, was it $300 like for the whole school year to buy something. He said, you better spend your money wisely. And he's talking about spending on clothes, right? So you better spend it wisely, because that's all you got. That's all you got for the whole school year, unless you have like allowance money. And half of the time you want to spend your money on, you know, getting the things you want. You don't really want to spend it on like clothes and stuff, unless you're a teenager, then yeah. But so hopefully we can talk about that. I'm going to look into it right now. I'm babysitting on the weekdays, and it has basically opened up my horizons to a lot of things, and to just sit there and observe a kid without controlling. So I'm basically just observing, because I've noticed the kid knows what he wants and he knows what time to do things. So I'm just seeing his schedule and seeing how he works, and it is so cool because the kid is super smart. We were doing the USA maps, and this boy put, we were doing it on what was the capitals and also the state. So he had Washington, and he put it on Olympia. He literally put it on there, Olympia. And I was like, oh my God, I might be saying that. Am I saying Olympia? Olympia, right? The capital of Washington is Olympia. But he put it on there, and I was like, this smart kid. He's so many apples. I'm all like learning from his child. So I'll be doing that on the weekends and getting things done, and just getting, seeing what else I can do. Just putting all my plans on a piece of paper as I go, but making sure on Sundays I come and check in with y'all and letting y'all know that I am still here. And let's get the learning, and let's help each other out in any kind of way that we can, y'all, because it's a beautiful thing when we do it. Always, this is Love with Love, and y'all have a beautiful have a beautiful Sunday, and have a beautiful weekday. Bye, y'all.